Hey crafty people, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd, because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. Over the years I've dabbled in most types of crafting, although for the past decade or so I've been doing primarily card making and mixed media art. I've recently embarked on a junk journaling journey that I hope you'll join me on. Today we're going to work on putting together the signature for our Pink Floral journal. In addition to going through the pages that are going in the journal, we're going to create a page that combines a bunch of digitals to create pockets and a flip. We're also going to be adding ephemera and pockets that I've made in other videos. There'll be links down below. Let's get crafting. Okay, so we are going to work on the signature for the journal cover that we made that is upside down. I've already picked out a bunch of pages for this. This is one of those projects that I keep working on for a little bit, and then other things come up and I come back to it, and I would like to get it finished. So today is actually a hurricane day for me. I have the day off because of Hurricane Idalia. So you may hear some rain coming down outside. I don't know if that's showing up on the audio or not. Fortunately, I'm in Central Florida, and so we have missed the worst of the hurricane. I have power. All we've gotten really is rain, so it's not been too bad here. My thoughts and prayers are going out to everybody on the coast who's seeing it much worse, and in the Big Bend area where it made landfall. Hopefully everyone will make it through the storm safe and sound. So on to our project. What I want to do is try something a little different this time. Instead of sewing in my signatures and then adding a bunch of stuff, I wanted to start by adding some stuff to my signature pages to kind of figure out if there's enough room in here for all the pages I have, or if I can add some more, that kind of thing. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm still figuring out my preferred method for assembling a junk journal. So I have pulled out a bunch of stuff that I know I want to go into this journal, and we're going to go through and add things. I will link down below any videos I've done. Like this piece is my double-sided tuck spot from a junk mail envelope, and I did a couple videos on that, one making the pockets and another doing the tags. And I want to put that on my first page, so let's set that aside, and we're just going to glue this down. I think I'm going to take these guys out so that I don't accidentally glue the tags underneath the pocket. That would be bad. And I'm just going to use art glitter glue. Stick that down on the page like that. Pop our tags back in. I feel like perhaps I have mixed those up and put those in the wrong side. Let's try that again. So we're just going to pop our tags back in. So that's going to be the first page of our signature. Now this is some coffee dyed paper. I've done a video on how I do that to get the patterning on. I'll leave a link to that down below. All right, so this is a printable by Rach and Bella Crafts. I will leave a list of all the printables I use for this down below, and I believe this is the Get Your Chic On set. This is a printable by Abrotuque called Peonies, I think. Another tea-dyed piece of paper. This is another Abrotuque printable called Shabby Pink. This one is This one is Lianna Scraps, and it's from her Bohemian Wood collection. This is a piece of book page, and I just used some washi tape to reinforce the spine on that. Okay, for this page, this is a printable by my Porch Prints, and let's move everybody out of the way for a sec. And my idea was, because this is what the page looks like printed out, was that I could just trim off the printed lace bit from this side and attach it over here as a pocket, but they're not exactly the same, so it didn't line up quite right. So what I ended up doing is deciding I'd just print it out again and trim off the correct side to attach to here as a side tuck. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and trim that out. So this will should line up exactly with over here. And we're just gonna glue it along the 3 sides and make a tuck spot. And we'll find something to get tucked in there. Ooh, let's hold that down a sec. And before I stick this back into the signature, let's grab, I'm gonna grab some Spun Sugar Distress ink and ink our edges here. And it's probably coming out a little bit darker because I'm pretty sure there's some Kitsch Flamingo on this as well. Let's just get those edges inked. Go around all of the edges. Now, inking edges is something you can do to all your pages, some of your pages, none of your pages. That's completely up to you. I did it to cover up the white that was showing from tearing away that section with a tearing ruler. All right, that can go back into our signature. Like so. This is a piece of ledger paper I just dyed with some powder pigments, and there's actually pigment with mica in it, so it's got a little shimmer to it. This is a page from an Edith Holden book, and I'm trying to decide, let's bring over our cover. I think we may have to do a little folding so that she's not sticking out horribly far. And I just realized something. I had this upside down when I stuck the eyelet in the top for a dangle. And so I have got the eyelet for the dangle at the bottom. That is very disappointing. Okay, yeah, we're gonna need to do some folding. So what I think I'm gonna do on this one is, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold it. And actually, I'm folding it pretty far in so that half of the poem is still visible and the other half's on the other side. So we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna grab a circle punch and notch out over here. And actually, to reinforce it, I'm gonna fold it over a little and glue that down, just because so I'm just folding it down a little bit. This will reinforce the edge of this pocket that we're going to make. Hold it a sec for it to grab. And then we are going to glue down on the sides, or the top and the bottom. Ooh, this is not. Hold that down a minute more. We're gonna glue this down and add glue down here. And fold over like that, and forget to put the notch in before we do that. It's okay, I think I can still stick the notch in. So I can still get it in, and we're just gonna do a little notch like that. So the Edith Holden book page does not love being glued, but we now have got a pocket, and we're gonna need to do some decorating, I think, on this, which I feel like we're gonna get everything together and then come back and do a little decorating after we do that, is how I want to do it. All right, so Stick this sucker back in. Then I've got another coffee dyed piece of paper. Then I have got, I made this for the Rach and Bella collaboration a couple months ago of, it was Show Some Style. So I'll link this video down below, and I'm gonna stick this guy on this page. And so we're gonna glue it down on this side. So I'm just gonna add, let's get stuff out of the way that we can work. Open that up. And so this has a little like flippy notepad, and then just a little collage back here. And then you flip over here and you've got a pocket in the back. And there's also a pocket up here that's got a journaling card in it. And then I've got a little altered paper clip because when I first made this was flapping up a lot, and now not so much, but I put the little paper clip on there to keep that down. My goodness, we are getting a pretty heavy feeder band right now because it is coming down out there. Okay, so we've got next page, although I think, so this was the extra band that I cut off, and I was gonna stick it on this page here, but it's getting awful heavy there, so I think this is gonna go on the back side of this. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm gonna add it over here as a tuck spot. And I think what I'm gonna do is trim off this top bit because I don't love how that looks. So I'm gonna grab my paper trimmer. Okay, so that can go back in. Now this page, again, we've got, it's book page from, I believe it's the Wildflowers of Great Britain Reader's Digest series. And so I am going to do a pocket over here. Make sure we got a good crease going on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a notch right now. And what I'm thinking, do I need to? Yeah, let's just be on the safe side, and we're gonna just fold over a little bit just to reinforce our pocket edge. Just gives a little extra stability. And I'm gonna add some glue. Then I'm gonna glue the pocket closed. And forget to put the notch in again. Let's do that before it fully glues. So there we go, we've got a pocket on this side. And we're gonna definitely do some decorating over here, but right now I just wanna get the pages all squared away. And I think for this one, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna create a pocket. And again, I'm gonna turn down the edge. Go ahead and do the notch now, before I forget. And fold it in about there. It's a little shallower than on that side, but that's okay. Then add a little glue. that over. Hold it down for a sec till it grabs. And we'll come back and play with those pages some more in a bit. We've got this guy, another coffee dyed paper, some ledger paper I coffee dyed, just some notepad paper that I dyed. A lot of dyed paper. Dyed paper. This is Lianna Scraps. I think it's Vintage Cherry Blossom. That's our center of our signature. And we're coming back around here. And we've got this little envelope pocket that I made. And this was an M Scrap Busters challenge. Pocket up here. Pocket back here. Pocket over here. And a pocket down here. That I am just gonna stick on this page, and I will link the video where I did this down below. So we're just gonna glue this on, and actually let's take these out. It'll make it a little easier. Add that, and that goes into our signature. And I think there's one more thing that I have. Okay, so we need to do something with the Elizabeth Holden page on this side because it's just gonna stick out too much and get damaged. And I think just gonna fold it over a little bit. And I think for this one, I'm not gonna bother creating another pocket. I'm just gonna attach it down, and what we'll do is some decorating to incorporate that better. Let's just go ahead and glue this down flat. All right, so stick that back in, that, okay. And I'm like, I know I've got something else going on. Okay, so this is just an envelope, a junk mail envelope that I decorated with some scrap papers. I don't think I did this on video. I think I was just playing around and did this. But basically all it is an envelope that I collaged a bunch of paper on and added some bits and bobs to. And so it's got a pocket here, and it'll have a pocket here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue it down so it'll flip up like that so you can see this side. But on this side, it'll be glued flat, and we have space for tucking in a little tag or something, which we will add. Get this stuff out of the way. And so we're just gonna glue this part down. Now you could of course leave part of it open to make it a tuck spot, but I think I'm just gonna glue it straight down. And so on this side, this will flip up. You got plenty of writing space there. This side, it'll just be glued down. Add a little bit more glue. So that will go here, and this will go. Let's see, let's get all of our pages back together. All right, let's see how well this fits into our cover. Not too bad, not too chunky. So I want to add one of those like layered pages that I made for the How Boho Can You Go journal that I did a little while ago, where it kind of involved piecing together a couple different pages to create like an interesting page. I'll link that video below, but I think I'm gonna have a look through the rest of the digitals I printed out, because I printed out way more than is gonna fit, and figure out what I wanna do page-wise, and then come back and show you that. Okay, so I have decided I am gonna stick one of my like multi-layered put together type pages like I did in the How Boho Can You Go junk journal. So I've grabbed a couple of printables that I had printed out, and I had only done one side on them. So I think this is by ShabbyDabbyDohDa. I'll double check and of course leave a link below. This one I'm pretty sure is Rach and Bella. This is my Porch Prints Peonies. And this I do know is ShabbyDabbyDohDa. I just don't remember what the name of the set is. And of course I sit down to craft and my dogs want to go out. Be right back. So now this one didn't print out full page. So I've got some of the white showing up here and I don't want that. I also want to reinforce it because this was printed on I'm gonna say Hammermill 28-pound premium color copy. So it doesn't have as much weight to it, and so I'm always a little worried about how well that's gonna hold up, especially since what I'm gonna do is attach it so that we've got a pocket here and a pocket here. So I've grabbed a spare strip of coffee dyed paper that I have on my desk, and I'm gonna add that to the top. So let's start there. That out of the way. And we're just gonna glue this along the top over here. And of course I've got like a sliver that's not quite going all the way across. I suspect it's because there's some shrinkage when I coffee dye. So let's get that folded. And we're just gonna glue this down till we get to the end there, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do with that in a minute. And then we're gonna attach these here in a second. What I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna stick a little notch in here so it's clear that this is a pocket. And I'm gonna ink that. And I'm gonna grab some Kitsch Flamingo and just ink along the top on this one and around here. You know what, let's go ahead and do a notch on this side. And ink all around. Gonna hold off on attaching that. We're gonna work in the middle because this piece is gonna get attached down as two side tacks, but I do want to round these corners. Let me grab my corner rounder and let's do the 1/2 inch, and we're just gonna round those corners. And I think I'm gonna ink the edges on this as well. It'll help it stand out more on the page. All right, now this is gonna go here and we're just gonna glue it down on the bottom. And I'm currently debating whether I want to glue up the middle. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue down this side. And it's getting to the point where soon I'm going to have to refill my art glitter glue, which I have been using this bottle for over a year now. And this is the first time it's, you know, I'm starting to get to the bottom of it after over a year of crafting with it. All right, so I just attached that down, so that's glued down on that side, and we're gonna do basically the same thing on this side. And then I'm gonna go let a dog in because, as you heard, he has decided he's ready to come back in now. Just fold that down. Let me go get a dog. Okay, so then for this side, I've got, this is the my Porch Prints. I think it's Pretty Peonies. And what I did was I folded it not quite in half and then folded this up a little bit because this is going to be the tab we use to attach it so that it can be a flip out over here. But I think I need to sliver off a little here just to make sure it closes smoothly because it's catching a little as I try and fold the page over, if that makes any sense. So just taking a sliver off of here will help. Grab my paper trimmer, open this up. Yeah, because it's not entirely straight. I think that's part of the issue too. So we're just going to take that little sliver off. So now when I fold this over, yeah, there's not the same, like I was hitting some resistance with the fold over. And this is going to attach on here as a flip out. So first I want to ink where we're likely to end up seeing white because I don't want white showing. So again, I'm going to come in with my Kitsch Flamingo and just ink along here, just to take away the white. And I was thinking of making it as one big pocket, but what I think I might do, call me crazy, is grab my cutting mat. Let's use our centering ruler and find our center. And then line that up on here. Okay, so this is pretty much our center. I am gonna set the ruler on that line and grab a craft blade. And I'm starting from, this is, I don't know how well you can see, this is the center fold line. So I'm using that. You know what? I can barely see it. Let's do this. Let's pull our ruler down. That way we can fold that up. There we go. Now I'm going to use my blade and just cut. And so what we're going to do is add a notch here. Put a little notch up here. Ink behind. Okay, so we've now inked there so we don't have white showing, and let's get a little bit more over here. I'm gonna ink the edges of these. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna glue this one down first, and I'm gonna glue along here, and let me get on screen. I'm gonna glue along the bottom and up the side. Fold that over and glue that down. And then we're gonna do the same on this one, bottom and side. And so now we've got 2 pockets on our little flip out. And then this is gonna get attached to this page. And I really think this, the pink here is a little too intense. So I'm gonna grab a brown dauber and just use whatever's on it, the dauber, to tone that down, knock it back a little bit. I think that works better. All right, now, what we need to do is decide, Do we want this centered? Or up at the top, which would solve our whole little issue with the bit still showing up top. I don't think it makes that big of a difference, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and do it up top. So I'm just gonna add glue to our little flap, being sure to stay on this side of the score line. I'm gonna flip this over and just attach it up at the top. Make sure we've got it. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna take this page, we're gonna start over here, and we're gonna glue down this side and this side. And we're gonna fold it around. Here. I'm gonna use a ruler to help with this because we got some bulk going on. So we need to get this so it's wrapping in a way that will leave us space to open our pages and not have them like go all crazy on us. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna burnish this down. And for you playing at home, probably should attach on this side first and then do the wraparound. This way, if there is any gap like we have here, you can just trim it off. Whereas we're just gonna have to keep that because that will end up trimming off our flip out. So we'll just leave that. And we're gonna apply glue down this side. So here's our interactive page spread. We've got a pocket, big pocket up here, tuck spot over here, flip out, tuck spot over here, pocket, pocket, and then back here we got a big old pocket. And I think this is going to need some embellishing, as are these guys. And so we're just going to add that to our signature. And it's going to go right here. And while I was having a think about that, I was also looking at some stuff to add in. These are some papers I picked up on Amazon, and I just backed it with some coffee dyed paper. And I think I'm just gonna round the corners on this maybe. Maybe ink our edges. And that can get tucked in as a journaling card. And I've got, this is a printable from the Graphics Fairy, which I'll leave a link for that website down below. The Graphics Fairy has a whole bunch, like thousands of free digitals for use. And I think what I'm gonna do is I picked up some of these envelopes from the dollar store, but I feel like I want to coffee or tea dye it, but I think then I'm gonna stick this on there. So this I'm gonna put on hold for now. And this is another piece that was supposed to get added earlier when we were doing all the page add-ons. I know this was a tutorial I saw on YouTube. I cannot remember who did it. It was, I suspect, either Rach and Bella or Angela Kerr. If I can find the video, I will leave a link down below. I have not done a video making this. If you would like me to do one, leave me a comment down below and I will. And I'm just going to attach this on the page. And I think I'm only going to attach it on 3 sides so it can be a tuck spot. And it just gives you a little hidden journaling place. So it just little pops open and you've got room to journal. And I added this paper and it's folding weird now, but that's all right. So there we go. So that's gonna go there. I decided I wanted to add just a little bit of interest over here. Now this is another digital from the Graphic Fairy, which I will leave linked down below. And it's this is a tea-dyed cupcake wrapper, and this is using the Tim Holtz label dies. So we're just gonna put him here to figure out placement for that. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna add glue to his head. We're, in theory, going to add glue to his head. And then I'm gonna stick that label on down there. And we're gonna glue the whole thing down. And if you see writing, that was just a note as to what color I used to ink the label when I die cut it out, because this label's from the die set that you're supposed to be able to ink and then die cut out, and it does like the distress inking around the edges of the label. So that's that one. What else I pulled out to add? Oh, again, another digital graphic fairy. Eventually I will remember the name of the place and stop messing it up. And I'm just gonna round the corners on this. Add a little ink, which helps cover up those white spots from me not cutting it out perfectly. And we're just gonna add that down as a corner tuck. But before we do that, I'm gonna do a little embellishing. This is a washi sticker that I got, I don't know, I think off of Amazon. I bought a whole bunch of washi stuff and stickers and packs and papers and things when I was first getting started. Just trying to separate the sticker from its backing. Hold on a second, Bert. There we go. And this is one of the ones, yeah, they're not so great, some of them that I bought. Like, I'm not loving them because they have too much white around the edges. So I'm just gonna trim that off. I'm gonna stick that there, and I've got a little bit of inky book page from I don't know what. Just using a little bundled sage to keep it with the green to ink the edges. And I think this was possibly a piece of paper, book page that I had out when I was making a bunch of those inked die cut labels as just a, you know, ink off kind of situation. And I just saved them and I'm using a piece of scrap right now. And this is, I feel like a Rach and Bella printable, but I'm not 100% sure. Gonna go on there, and we're just gonna glue down two sides and create a tuck spot. So here's another project I created. Now this one I know is an idea from Pam at the Paper Outpost, and it is a book page folded in half, and then you do a bunch of fold overs to create a bunch of pockets. And I actually haven't glued my pockets closed all the way yet. And I'm gonna put it on this page to cover up the fold over for this piece. Which actually, I'm thinking about this, and I think that might add too much bulk over here. I think this, I'm just gonna think about whether I need to do anything about it. Don't want to add any more bulk here. I pulled out some papers to stick over here just because this is not very interesting. This I know is from a Rach and Bella kit. Stick that in, make that a little bit more interesting. And then I've got this piece and this little thing of butterfly, and the butterfly is from my Porch Prints. And this is sprayed with some mica sprays. Now, this is a piece of printed vellum, and this is a piece of book page. And I know I got this idea from Angela Kerr. And we're gonna take away the little section over here. Let's see, hold on one sec. Yeah, I'm gonna notch a little bit out. Do the same over here. And what we're gonna do is move this out of the way. Add glue down this side. Double check how this fits in. All right, we're gonna have to be careful because I wanted to leave as much of this showing, so there's not a whole lot of room for error on this. So we're gonna add a little glue at the very edge of this piece. And we're gonna fold it over onto our piece of vellum, which I need to adjust so that it's sitting where it's supposed to. Okay, that's where it's supposed to go. Let's fold that piece over. Make sure I haven't glued the pocket shut. Then we're gonna do, let's just do a line of glue down the piece of vellum on this side. Fold that over. And then this piece gets folded up, and we've got a little vellum pocket. And so that we're gonna glue onto this page. Now, this book page isn't very sturdy, so I'm not gonna create a tuck spot behind, which you could do. You could just glue on 3 sides and create another tuck spot, but I think I'm just gonna glue this straight down. And I'm gonna put this on our very last page. So I'm just gonna glue this down. And that's gonna go in one of the pockets. And these are all from the Graphic Fairy. And they need a little zhuzhing up, so I'm gonna do some stuff to them before, you know, this journal is finished. Okay, I think I'm gonna add this over here, and that's the last thing I'm gonna add. Then I have got to put together some stuff to go in pockets. So these are 2 angled pockets from my Porch Prints, and it's the Peony Digital. And I am going to start by, let's see, let's flip it over and make a couple marks so we know where we're gluing to. There and there, and I'm gonna add glue on here and here. I'm trying to decide. And along the bottom of here. Yes, no, hold on. No, we're just gonna glue like that. So yeah, I'm combining 2 pockets to make them into 1 pocket. And what I'm gonna do is glue it onto the page. Let's make this less lumpy underneath where I'm gluing. And I'm gonna glue it down like this. And I'm gonna glue across the bottom of this one so this pocket's not as deep, and then this pocket goes to the bottom. It will make sense in a minute. So I'm gluing, you can see, along the line for the top, like triangular piece, and then down this way and across here. I kind of just want to add this washi stamp sticker thingy up there at the top. I don't know, it's just calling to me. So we're going to do it. Can't really see the stamp edge on it. Kind of disappears, but that's okay. I kind of like that on that page. So that's all we're going to do for today on the signatures. And I may or may not come back and do another video showing you how to do some of the stuff that I'm going to stick in the pockets, or I may just do one last video that is a flip through of the finished journal. But if you enjoyed today's video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.